and remember and honor the fallen. Very important.
This isn't just the kickoff to the summer, an excuse to go to the beach or grill burgers. This is a vital, important day to reflect on the heroes that gave their lives to give us the freedoms we have today.
Well, yeah, they gave us the ability to be able to go out and grill those burgers because they've kept this nation free, fearless, American, proud day.
Amen to that.
And I want to remind everybody, you see your branch of the service out there. We are not shy in this parade. You see the Army, the Navy, the Marines, the Space Force. You pick your corps. We don't care. You get to cheer because we're that kind of group.
I'm an Air Force brat, so I'm partial to the Air Force.
You know who
yes.
I'm looking at over here? I'm looking at Eric Leinhardt, who won 2 bronze medals, one with V for Valor. So I have to wave at him, okay?
Thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you, Eric Lionheart. He is Eric the Lion-Hearted. And before I forget, you know, there's a special thing that the Epic Times is doing for the veterans. So go to the Epic Times and check it out. Okay, John, I think he's ready.
All right, folks. We're going to move on here. The journey for rising.
Oh, we're going to ad-lib, and we're going to talk about this special deal that's for the veterans if they go to the Epic Times?
Yes, go for it.
Oh, yeah, just check it out on their Patriot page. I'm loving it. And for 20 years, it's been an honor to be able to serve these veterans and make their lives know that we appreciate every single bit of sacrifice. And you know who else we have to thank, John?
Who's that?
Their families.
Absolutely.
Because their families serve. And you're going to see so many organizations here today that help the families and the veterans recover. So God bless them.
Even some Gold Star families who've sadly lost some family members.
Oh, yeah. We'll
in
see some of the
conflict.
Gold Star mothers in this parade carrying those wonderful photos of the people that have served, including the Tuskegee Airmen, the Band of Brothers. I think we've lost all our Band of Brothers now. It makes me so sad because we love them so much.
We have to be sure to acknowledge all the World War II heroes we still have among us.
Yeah, and the Vietnam vets and the Korean vets and everybody that's with us, and we'll mention so many more. We've got a great lineup for you, and I'm hoping that you are going to be as inspired by the performer that John and I are going to introduce in a moment, because I think that his song that he's going to sing, I'm going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait to find out who he is.
It's fun.
Because it's going to turn into an anthem, okay? And did you see that we have Gene Simmons here?
I did. Saw him walking around earlier.
From KISS? Can I say something real quick before we go? Well, I want to tell you, we're going to introduce him. But one of the things that I love about Gene Simmons, that we'll tell more about his story, but because his mother was rescued from a concentration camp, he says he really loves the American members of the service. He loves America. And he said anybody that has a problem with America, they got a problem with Gene Simmons.
Well, we look forward to seeing him in a little bit.
Yeah, we do. And we're getting close. I can hear it.
All right, folks, I think we can move on now. The journey for rising country music star Scotty Hastings began in the United States Army. Scotty was deployed to Afghanistan, where he was shot 10 times on April 21st, 2011. He's now pursuing his escape from PTSD through music.
And boy, it's working, because I'm telling you, Scotty has opened for such icons as Jelly Roll, Dave Grohl, and so many more. And his debut EP, I'm America, should be an anthem, because it really will move your heart. You're going to love it. And then he's got a great new single. It's going to be the Summer Smash, John.
Okay.
You know what it is? Pop your tops and get ready for him to sing Pro Beer. Ladies and gentlemen, you just clap for this wonderful Purple Heart recipient and American patriot, Scotty Hastings.
Last night I had a revelation, standing over that grilling station, halfway to inebriation, when it dawned on me. I used to get worked up by the line of things, spread my thoughts like a silly string, just like the weather, some of them have changed, but there's one that ain't. I'm pro-beer, pro-raising them up, pro-popping the top instead of stand.
Should be all right. Yeah.
I'm propane.
Woo!
Well, I ain't anti-pen. Y'all don't get me wrong. I'm just anti-picket fights with the side of the fence that you ain't on. Indy File ran for president and went podcasting with Roe. Well, I'd hold one true self-evident, one simple campaign slogan. I'm pro-big, pro-raising them up, pro-popping the top instead of popping off about God knows what. Yeah, the only agenda I'm pushing is chilling on a back porch cushion, a six-pack in with a couple of friends who take me as I am. Yeah, they know where I kick stand. I'm pro-beer, makes it all better. I'm pro-beer, brings us all together. A cold one, cheap one, light one, free one. Hey, senorita, sometimes I can even be talked into being pro-margarita. But I'm pro-beer, pro-raising them up, pro-popping the top instead of popping off about God knows what. Yeah, the only agenda I'm pushing is chilling on a back porch cushion, a six-pack in with a couple of friends who take me as I am. Yeah, they know where I kick stand. I'm pro-beer, makes it all better. I'm pro-beer, brings us all together. A cold one, cheap one, yeah, I'm buying. Long as you ain't driving, I'm pro-beer. Thank you. Here we go. Ready? I'm the river, I'm the rain, the lonesome whistle of a train. I'm the amber waves of grain. And I'm the highway, I'm the farm, the fertile fields and boulevards, the hand that rests over your heart. Whoa, I'm the echo of a bell that's ringing. Song we're singing, and I'm the seed that's in the dust. I'm the prayer in God we trust, a place to dream for all of us. I'm America. Yeah, I'm the music to the dance, the open window to a chance, the place where courage takes a stance. In all the colors that you see, the lights from 30,000 feet, I'm the roar of victory. Whoa, I'm the echo of a bell that's ringing. Whoa, I'm the freedom in the song we're singing, and I'm the seed that's in the dust. I'm the prayer in God we trust, a place to dream for all of us. I'm the footprints in the mud. I'm a shelter washed in blood. I'm America. There you go.
Give it up for Scotty Hastings. Let's really hear it. I'm America. What a beautiful, beautiful song. Thank you, Scotty. Gorgeous.
Oh, beautiful.
And you know,
fun.
if you want to learn more about Scotty Hastings, it's real easy. You can find out about his incredible career by going to scottyhastings.com. And you know what? I got to tell you, when he sang that last night, there wasn't a dry eye in the house.
Oh, I'm sure.
This song should be an anthem for anyone that feels like they have to be intimidated about being an American. Thank you, Scotty Hastings. And you can go, he's going to be with the American Legion's convention. So if you want to see Scotty Hastings, you make sure you find out where that is and check in.
That was a lot of fun. That's a great summer anthem, his first one, the Pro Beer. That's funny. I was laughing during that.
You were trying to pop a top.
Oh, well, I have to work, unfortunately.
Well, there you go. I'm from the Lone Star State. You know how we are. In fact, I was listening to his first song, that Pro Beer. You know, I was tempted to go, yeehaw. I had to get a grip there. I'm sure there are a lot of military guys that are watching us around the world that were going, yeehaw. But that's okay. And we are looking forward to hearing more great things from Scotty Hastings. And as you know, we've got more music coming up here on this parade.
And a lot of great acts from around the country. Some great young men and women traveled far and wide to come here and join us today.
And hundreds of veterans. 1,000 active military service members. And you've got to see all the floats that are coming by. They're really incredible. And you know what I love about parades?
What's that?
I don't know if you love a parade like this, but
I
love the bands and what they have to do to get here. How the moms and dads, and they're out there fundraising to get their kid in that band. And I'm glad it's not cold, because you know how hard it is to play in a band when it's like the and the cornet or the trumpet.
I'm a former trombone player. I fully know what that's like.
You just let that slide by.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we are looking at this beautiful crowd from all over the country that's here today, folks. This is our 20th anniversary for the National Memorial Day Parade. And honestly, I think what's so wonderful, this is kind of the safe place for Americans to say we love this country. God bless America.
And no better place to do it. It's amazing how far this parade has come in 20 years.
Now, I just want to know, last time I asked, you say, do we got anybody that ever served in the Navy out there? Do I hear them? Let me try the one that always works. Do we have any Marines out there? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm hearing the Semper. How about the Army? Any Army out there? I'm liking this better.
How about Air Force?
Oh, you know what their motto is? You know what I love? It is aim high, fly, fight, win.
Amen.
I love it. How about Semper Paratus? You know who that is? Who's always ready?
Marines, right?
Well, they're not there. That's Semper Fi, but this is the Coast Guard.
Oh, forgive me.
That's okay. I'm going to try, because you know how they are. The Marines, they carry. 8th and I is just down the street. Have you ever had an SOS breakfast? Any of you Marines ever had an SOS breakfast? I hear a couple of them saying yes. So anyway, and you've got a great group of Marines and Navy that are working together, and they're going to be celebrating their birthdays. I think it's the 9th or the 16th of October, ending on November 10th, which is the Marine Corps' birthday.
Yeah, obviously Army's getting a lot of the press right now with their 250th, but you're right, the Navy and Marine Corps, their 250th is also this year.
And a lot of folks in San Antonio are watching, because we got a big group of Army folks in Texas, and I'd like to say howdy to our folks out there. We have this parade that's going to be so amazing for you and inspiring. And as we've mentioned, we have over 60 World War II veterans that are going to be in this. Can you imagine that?
Wow, that's awesome.
Most of those guys are over 100 years old, and they're not showing it. They look pretty darn good, if you want to ask me. They look wonderful. But their service in these places that still live forever. Well, we want to thank you for, again, as I said, it's Scotty Hastings, but we got a new performance group that's coming up. And on the heels of their Going Out Like That tour, we're going to be introducing another group.
Yeah, so made up of 3 different but complementary voices. Country band Restless Roads Powerhouse Harmonies and soul-bearing lyrics have already accumulated hundreds of millions of streams.
Yeah, and their last rodeo is such a great song. And I want to remember, they just told me the name of their tour, because it's Going Out Like That tour. I think it's incredible. So they were recently nominated for Group of the Year New Duo at the Academy of Country Music's wonderful awards. So, ladies and gentlemen, how about we welcome Restless Road?
Tear that out.
Bet you thought I'd hang it up when you hung me out to dry. You hit me with a goodbye faster than a 8-second ride. You thought you were the best damn thing that I'd ever had. You thought that I'd give up on love, but this ain't my last rodeo. I might be bruised, but I ain't broke. Back in the saddle, back on the road. This ain't the first time or the last time that I'll riding on to the next train out the gate. You think I'm down, just you wait. Dust off this heart, put on a show. This ain't my last rodeo. Well, I'm ready for a new sunset to run into. 'Cause all you are's another scar from the hell you put me through. You ain't gonna catch me crying over a whiskey glass. And I hate to break it to ya, this ain't my last rodeo. I might be bruised, but I ain't broke. Back in the saddle, back on the road. This ain't the first time or the last time that I'll riding on to the next train out the gate. You think I'm down, just you wait. Dust off the sock, put on a show. This ain't my last rodeo. 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 I might be bruised, but I ain't broke. Back in the saddle, back on the road. This ain't the first time or the last time that I'll riding on to the next train out the gate. You think I'm down, just you wait. Dust off this heart, put on a show. This ain't my last rodeo. This ain't my last rodeo. This ain't my last rodeo. I know I don't got my act together, but I know the kind of man I want to be. So I'm done with up all night, strangers' eyes, neon lights, and dive bar therapy, 'cause that don't work on me. Now I'm a hilltop fixer-upper, J45 with a few broke strings. I'm a block till 92, could use a wrist turn and a coat of paint. This heart of mine, it comes as is, can't make no guarantees. If that works for you, you got the tools, do what you do, baby, work on me. Trust me, girl, I'm one hell of a project, but I still got some shine that you can't see. I know that I ain't no quick fix, but those blue eyes and that kiss might work on me. Yeah, baby, work on me. I'm a hilltop fixer-upper, J45 with a few broke strings. I'm a block till 92, could use a wrist turn and a coat of paint. This heart of mine, it comes as is, can't make no guarantees. If that works for you, you got the tools, do what you do, baby, baby, work on me.
I'll do what I gotta do. Now roll up my sleeves. 'Cause loving a girl like you makes me wanna work on me.
And I'm a hilltop fixer-upper, J45 with a few broke strings. I'm a block till 92, could use a wrist turn and a coat of paint. This heart of mine, it comes as is, can't make no guarantees. If that works for you, you got the tools, do what you do, baby, work on me. Yeah, baby, work on me. Baby, work on me.
Wow. I'm telling you, on that Going Out Like That tour, Restless Road. Now, let me ask you something,
What's
John.
that?
Have you ever been to a rodeo?
I have not.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, Lordy. Those guys, they need to come out to some real rodeos because rodeo folks will really understand and love those words. We need to get you to a rodeo. Very patriotic. And
Very moving,
And
too.
you can understand why the Academy of Country Music Awards was looking at them for their wonderful awards that they give out every year because they're
surprise.
superstars, aren't they?
Absolutely. That was moving. Very powerful. I loved it.
Yeah, and we were lucky, folks, just to be able to shake the hand of Scotty Hastings before he gets into the official parade route. It's nice to meet these folks because, you know, they come by, they work hard, they perform, but they're real down-to-earth, great people, like some of the folks you're going to meet from us right now. Are we ready to introduce our next good friend? I love it because, you know, he's one of my favorite people at the parade. And I always ask this guy, how is it that you learn how to cook so well? I'm talking about one of our best friends, Chef Robert Irvine. And I said to him, do you make bangers and mash? Did you start out peeling potatoes? He started off in the UK with the British Royal Navy. Oh, dear. But it was his military service that taught him all these amazing skills that he's brought to these highly recommended, wonderful Food Network programs. He's a super guy.
He certainly is. Great guy, great shows, and now he's a proud American citizen. He's become one of the entertainment industry's strongest supporters of our military. He's been named an honorary Chief Petty Officer of the U.S. Navy.
Yay.
And his nonprofit, the Robert Irvine Foundation, supports our nation's heroes and their families. So we are honored to introduce a true friend of our uniformed men and women, Chef Robert Irvine.
Good morning, everybody. What a beautiful morning it is to celebrate. Thank you to our chairman, our senior enlisted leaders, and our ambassadors from foreign countries, our coalition partners, and most of all, the American people. I want to start by saying that today is not a day of hot dogs and the beginning of summer. Today is a Memorial Day, and for the families of the lost, every day, 365 days a year, is Memorial Day. As a veteran of Her Majesty's Royal Navy, I can attest to the love of which this day brings. But it's not just today, it's 365 days a year, folks. May the memories of our fallen inspire us to live with purpose and meaning in our life. That means, quite simply, be nice to each other, honor each other's, respect each other, and dignify each other with grace. God bless you all for being here today. God bless America.
Awesome. Now
Thank
you
you,
see
Chef.
where we love that chef. He's just amazing. Now, you know I'm a little biased about Texas, and I get to
a little bit.
introduce this wonderful man from the 6th Congressional District in the Lone Star State of Congress. And I'm talking about Congressman Jake Ellzey. He began his career, get this, as a helicopter and fighter pilot, in the United States Navy. He had over a 20-year career. He flew the F-14 and the F-18 over 9 deployments, including 5 combat deployments to Iraq and Afghanistan, including a ground tour in support of SEAL Team 5 in Iraq.
He concluded his illustrious military career as air boss aboard the USS Ronald Reagan aircraft carrier. A proud veteran and great champion of the National Memorial Day Parade, please welcome Congressman Jake Elsey.
Thank you all for being here today. Thank you to our NATO members on this 50th anniversary of the end of Vietnam, the 80th anniversary of the victory in World War II, and the 250th anniversary of the Army, Navy, and Marine Corps. As a 20-year Navy veteran, I stand before you humbled by the weight of this day, humbled by the actions of the fallen whose names live on in our hearts. Today is not about those who made it home. It's about those who didn't. Soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Coast Guardmen, and Merchant Marines. We remember them, our brothers and sisters who wore the uniform, who answered the call, who went into danger not for glory, but for duty. I remember my own friends from the skies above and the ground below, friends who died in combat and friends who died sharpening their swords, warriors who I flew alongside, and warriors who I stood next to. I remember their laughter, their dedication, and their courage. And I remember the silence that followed when they were taken too soon. I ask all of you to pause for a moment to call to mind the names in your hearts who never made it home. Their sacrifice wasn't just in a moment, but in a lifetime never lived. Graduations, birthdays, daddy-daughter dates, ball games, all missed, families left behind, and futures folded. And so today we carry forward the values they died defending: service, honor, and love of country. To the families who lost a father, a mother, a child, you bear the weight of grief no words can ease. But know this, you're not alone. We stand with you today and always. Let us remember not just once a year, but every day. On this Memorial Day, let us uphold the freedoms they defended, support the families they left behind, and ensure that their names are not just etched in stone, but carried in the hearts of a grateful nation. Thank you, and may God bless America.
We sure love that guy.
Absolutely.
Man.
Congressman, thank you. Well, for anybody serving in the military, and for anyone else for that matter, Gary Sinise needs little introduction. For more than 40 years, Gary has been a tireless supporter of our nation's veterans and active duty military men and women. Now, what came to prominence with his legendary role as Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump has led to over 100 USO tours, countless visits with our troops and wounded heroes, hundreds of support concerts with his Lieutenant Dan man, and so much more.
Oh, so much more. You know, he's raised over $300 million for the veterans.
Wow.
And he expanded his efforts with the creation of the Gary Sinise Foundation, which is incredible. They want to uplift the nation's defenders and their families each and every day. You know, he talks about service as a great healer of a broken heart. We love him. We love to hear the music of his great lost son now, Mac, who was a great composer. But Gary Sinise, he's just the best friend to this National Memorial Day Parade. We love you, Gary. Please take it away. We want to hear from you. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Gary Sinise.
Thank you so much. This is a special holiday, something that I always look forward to, as it's a time for our nation to come together to remember. Today, I'll be with a group of children of Vietnam veterans who were lost in the Vietnam War, and then children of our fallen in the global war on terror. We have the privilege of supporting them, and through our Snowball Express program that we have at the Gary Sinise Foundation, and we have a tremendous group here. I have a tremendous staff that works very, very hard at the Gary Sinise Foundation to take care of our families, first responders, our wounded. We do a lot there at the Gary Sinise Foundation, and we couldn't do it without the support of the American people. Every single day is Memorial Day. We can never take for granted those who have sacrificed in service to our country. The nation which forgets its defenders will itself be forgotten. Calvin Coolidge's famous quote, and it lives on in my heart, and it's so appropriate today. We can never forget the sacrifices that have kept us free all these years. God bless those families. God bless all who serve, and God bless our great country. Thank you very much, everybody.
God bless you. Thank you, Mr. Gary Sinise. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and place your hand on your heart for the singing of our great national anthem by Staff Sergeant Caroline Nielsen from the U.S. Army Band, Pershing's Own. Would you all please stand?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Oh, powerful. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, my 4 favorite words. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let the parade. No. We have to put a hold on that.
We will get back to that.
I'm going to save those favorite 4 words.
In the meantime, Blanquita, let's talk about this. All right, 80 years ago, a young Marine flamethrower, Don Graves, landed on Iwo Jima in the Pacific, February 19th, 1945. When the Stars and Stripes were raised atop Mount Suribachi in history's most famous flag raising, Don was there on Iwo Jima. Of 335 Marines in his battalion, only 18 walked off unscathed.
You know, he made a deal with God, don't you? Don's World War II experience led him to the ministry and a love of singing. And that love continues to this day. And get this, folks. Just a couple of weeks ago, this 100-year-old young guy signed a Nashville record recording deal. So get this. We want to welcome the great new country star out of Nashville, the 100-year-old hero of Iwo Jima, country music star Don Graves.
God bless America. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountain to the prairie, to the ocean, while we fall. God bless America, our home sweet home. God bless America, our home sweet home.
Oh, Oh, that is awesome.
He's got
Thank you
great
so
chops.
much. No kidding. I'm jealous. Well, folks, moving on now, joining us on behalf of the Boeing Company is Mr. Robert Simmons, Vice President, Defense, Space, and Security for Boeing Government Operations. On behalf of the American Veterans Center and the National Memorial Day Parade, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, representing the Boeing Company, Mr. Bob Simmons.
Hey, good afternoon. Secretary Collins, Secretary Phelan, Chairman Kane, members and representatives of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, ambassadors, members of the Diplomatic Corps, ladies and gentlemen. Today, as we gather in solemn reflection, we honor the men and women who gave their lives in service to our country. Memorial Day is a time to remember the price of our freedoms and courageous leadership and sacrifice that have guarded our freedoms for generations. From the beginning of our armed forces 250 years ago to the conflicts today, brave Americans from all corners of this country have answered the call to serve. Many never returned home. These service members were leaders not just by rank or title, but by action. They stepped forward and placed themselves with duty above self. Each generation faced its own trials, and each ordinary citizens displayed extraordinary courage to defend the values we hold dear. They led with integrity, they stood firm under pressure, and sacrificed their lives not for recognition, but for the belief that freedom was worth protecting. As we place flags and flowers at their graves, let us not mourn their loss, but renew our commitment to the ideals they died defending. May we live our lives in ways that honor their legacy with gratitude and purpose, and with courage to lead in our own time. On behalf of the Boeing Company, thank you to the American Veterans Center for making this parade possible and for your continued commitment to supporting all veterans. And to all of you, may we never forget. Thank you.
Mr. Simmons, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, representing today's reviewing officials from the Department of Defense and the United States military, please welcome the nation's highest-ranking military officer. This is a big deal. The Principal Military Advisor to the President, Secretary of Defense and National Security Council, the 22nd Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Kane.
Thanks. I realize as the parade comes forward, I'm the last thing between them and you, and so I'll be short. But ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Americans and our guests today, there's two things I want to start off with. A round of applause for the people that put this parade together. And Gary Sinise, if you'd come out here, I want to say thank you in person on behalf of 2.8 million members of the Joint Force. The impact that you've had on families all over is unlimited, my friend, and you just keep pouring in over and over and over again. Thank you. Yeah, God bless you too. Good afternoon, and as I stand here today, we reflect on a solemn truth. The truth is that freedom isn't free. More than 1 million of our sons, daughters, mothers, fathers, sisters, and brothers over the course of the history of this great nation have donned the cloth and gone into battle on behalf of us. They gave their lives believing in defending our nation was worth it, and you bet it really is. In their service and sacrifice, they gave us the gift of a perfect example. The perfect example flowed through their service and into today. It echoes from the resolve that they had at places like Valley Forge, the hallowed fields at Gettysburg, the determination in the forests in Europe, and in the courage of those who assaulted forward on the beaches of Normandy and in the Pacific. And it continues to endure in the memories of the quiet fortitude of those who got after it in Korea, patrolled in the jungles of Vietnam, and who faced uncertainty in the Middle East and yet showed up day after day with courage and tenacity. What binds them together is not the terrain that they fought on, but the values and virtues that make America great, the honor, courage, and integrity. Their sacrifice is borne by the families who carry on, who every day show us what the enduring pride of being an American Gold Star family really looks like, the courage to drive forward and give us the gift of a great example. This day, my friends, belongs to them, to the families of the fallen, to those who we remember. They did not fall so we could look back. They fell so we could look forward, free, united, and with resolve. Let us never forget how these Americans died, but more importantly, let us never forget how they lived, my friends. On behalf of 2.8 million members of the Joint Force, God bless our fallen, God bless their families, God bless our deployed Joint Force and their families, and may God bless the United States of America. And without further ado, let me get out of your way. Thanks for marching today for all these great folks.
Wow, the great Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman. Wow, I love General Dan King. He's amazing.
Yes. Thank you, General.
You know that we were without a parade here after 1942. They hadn't had a parade until the World War II monument was kind of in 2000, like, guess what was it, 2004?
Yeah.
And they had the Veterans Association, the American Veterans Association was tasked with putting a little parade together. And then with the pandemic, 2020 and 2021, we were off Constitution Avenue, but you can hear it behind us, right?
Yeah, it's
We're
not a little parade
back.
anymore.
We're tanned. We're rested. We got the great military, the veterans, the active service, the bands. They're all kind of gearing up. Some of these wonderful nonprofits that help the veterans. It's an exciting event.
It's going to be an amazing day.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that all of you will join us when we get to say these 4 words for real now. Are you ready?
I'm ready. No.
No? They're still stopping us. I can't take it. This is killing me. I want to get this thing on because you're going to love this parade. And you know what I love is that people get to cheer and they get to be patriotic. They don't have to be shy about it. They get to love our country. All right, we got it. I got the official cue.
Oh, man.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let the parade begin!
When their country is called, the men and women of the United States military have answered. It began in 1775, June 14th. As American militiamen besieged the British in Boston, Congress ordered the creation of a new army, Continental Army, the birth of the United States Army. 4 months later, October 13th, the Navy was born, and November 10th, the United States Marine Corps. Declaring independence, Congress pledged their lives, fortunes, and their sacred honor. And through the Revolution and generations since, American service members have lived out that pledge, and they have sacrificed. 80 years ago, World War II. More than 400,000 lost to war, 36,000 in Korea, 58,000 in Vietnam, and 7,500 fallen in operations since. Memorial Day is their day, the United States military's most sacred day. At the National Memorial Day Parade along Constitution Avenue, and at parades and ceremonies around the country, we honor those who gave their last full measure of devotion. And as we commemorate the 250th birthday of the United States military, to all who have served, to all who have sacrificed, we offer you our lasting gratitude and our pledge to always remember.
From Washington, D.C. on the beautiful and iconic Constitution Avenue, welcome to the 2025 National Memorial Day Parade presented by Boeing. And a special thanks to the one and only Tom Cruise for kicking off today's show.
Please welcome Navy vocalist, Staff Sergeant Caroline Nielsen, and the Memorial Day Festival Chorus under the direction of Dr. Michael Martin.
Wow, I got chills.
I still have chills.
Beautiful.
Man.
Thank you so much. Well, from Washington, D.C., good afternoon, everyone. I'm John Rogers. The 2025 National Memorial Day Parade is coming to you from the heart of our nation's capital, Constitution Avenue. The American Veterans Center welcomes you to the nation's largest Memorial Day salute to the men and women who've made the ultimate sacrifice for our country.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to all of you that are watching us today. And you know what? We want to give an extra great welcome to all you service members watching all over the world on the American Forces Network. God bless you.
So grateful for your service. Well, from the American Revolution to the current generation, guarding and fighting for our democracy, today's parade honors those Americans who've served and sacrificed throughout our country's long history.
Yeah.
In keeping with tradition, members of the Metropolitan Police Department, including an honor guard, make their way down Constitution Avenue, signaling the official kickoff of the parade.
Carrying the banner are a group of very special women, Gold Star mothers. Today, our hearts are with these mothers and their families, as this day is our nation's collective remembrance and paying honor to the children that they've lost while in active service of the United States Armed Forces.
And here is the pride of Washington, D.C.'s marching bands, the Frank W. Ballou Senior High School Majestic Marching Knights. This award-winning band with heart and soul uses musicianship, hard work, discipline, dedication, and compassion as tools to overcome all obstacles.
It's a great band and have appeared on Good Morning America, the Today Show. They participated in the inaugurations of Presidents George W. Bush and Barack Obama. They've marched in this Memorial Day parade for over a decade. Let's listen to the soul of the blue and gold. salute to our fallen heroes. Now, among the oldest of military traditions in a full honor funeral is that of the riderless horse.
It's a very powerful image, wearing an empty saddle with the rider's boots reversed in the stirrups. It honors the warrior who will never ride again, a reminder of the true meaning of the Memorial Day holiday.
We are honored to be joined by the National Memorial Day Parade Ceremonial Honor Guard, featuring marching platoons from each branch of the United States Armed Forces.
2025 marks the 250th birthday of the United States military. More than a year before declaring independence, Congress created the Continental Army on June 14, 1775. The Navy was born on October 13th, and the Marine Corps, November 10th. As we celebrate our military's birthday, these marching platoons join us in the spirit of service and sacrifice. Here is the Army Band, popularly known as the Band of the Nation's Capital. The band started in 1883 and is the official musical ambassador of the District of Columbia Army National Guard. This band has played countless events of state and national importance, including the burial of the unknown soldier in 1921 at Arlington National Cemetery.
Joining us in this special opening tribute are platoons from each branch of the armed forces, including the United States Army, Marines, Navy, Air Force, Space Force, and Coast Guard.
We are honored to present the Grand Marshals of the 2025 National Memorial Day Parade, recipients of our nation's highest award for valor, the Medal of Honor. The medal is awarded for gallantry in combat beyond the call of duty. Of more than 3,500 recipients in our history, only 61 survive today.
As we commemorate the 250th birthday of the United States Army, Navy, and Marine Corps, these heroes join to represent all who have served and sacrificed through our history. A gracious thank you to our presenting sponsor, Boeing, for making their participation possible. And thank you to our Medal of Honor recipients. This 50-foot long, this giant Stars and Stripes, is being carried by employee volunteers from Lidos.
The organization was established in 1974 by returning Vietnam-era veterans with a goal of addressing academic needs of veterans and peer counseling programs. Their important work continues today. Lidos is an innovation company, rapidly addressing the world's most vexing challenges in national security and health. Their 48,000 employees collaborate to create smarter technology solutions for customers in these critical markets.
From Rancho Cucamonga in sunny California, let's welcome the Altaloma Entertainment Corps. Playing a John Philip Sousa march, this award-winning band from Altaloma High School is making their debut performance in the National Memorial Day Parade. We welcome them. Let's listen. And here is World War II veteran Dave Yoho of the Merchant Marines, who just a few years ago received the Congressional Gold Medal of Honor for extraordinary service. He's joined by that Texan, Congressman Jake Elzie of the 6th District, U.S. Navy F-14 and F-18 fighter pilot with 5 combat deployments to Iraq and Afghanistan, and no doubt he is a great champion of the National Memorial Day Parade. Don't you love him?
Beautiful car.
Those cars always look better when you got a Medal of Honor winner in it. We are truly honored to present living legends of history. Serving as the honorary Grand Marshals, they are surviving veterans of World War II, riding in period vehicles from the classic car clubs of America.
2025 marks 80 years since the Allied victory in World War II. 16 million Americans served in uniform. 400,000 made the ultimate sacrifice, and today fewer than 50,000 survive. So today, these legends, all nearly 100 years old and older, but all looking great, they're joining us to represent their entire generation.
Feel free to cheer on those Medal of Honor recipients. They look great, don't they? God bless them. American living legends.
Made some beautiful legendary cars, too.
if you're a veteran, don't forget to go to the Epic Times. They're going to give some great extra special treats for patriotic veterans. I hear them.
All right, with that unmistakable sound, let's make our way for the Washington Scottish Pipe Band and Color Guard of the St. Andrew's Society of Washington, D.C., sponsored by Independent Apparel. Formed in the 1920s, the band consists of civilian, active duty, and retired musicians of various backgrounds, and who have been piping for anywhere from 4 to 60 years.
Well, now this color guard of St. Andrew's Society of Washington, D.C. is a bit newer, beginning 15 years ago. The group is comprised of U.S. and U.K. military veterans.
All right, from Wichita, Kansas, making their first trip since the COVID pandemic, let's give a warm welcome to the campus high school Colt Marching Band.
They appeared in the Outback and Cotton Bowls, as well as Walt Disney World and New York City. The Colt Marching Band is thrilled to reignite their traveling traditions by honoring our fallen soldiers at the National Memorial Day Parade. Take a listen.
All right, our next float is made possible by the Gary Sinise Foundation, founded by actor and humanitarian, the great actor Gary Sinise. His nonprofit honors the families of our fallen heroes who joined Gary in today's parade. Today we remember their sacrifices.
And they not only honor the families of our fallen, they help our nation's most severely wounded military members. They support our veterans, and they do so much more. They are impacting the lives of those who serve in defense of freedom each and every day. Learn more and see how you can participate by visiting GarySiniseFoundation.org. Thank you to the Gary Sinise Foundation. Thank you, Gary. We love you so much. One of the parade's great champions, one of America's great patriots.
And now we are pleased to present a message from Tony Crutchfield, Vice President for Army Systems, representing our presenting sponsor, the Boeing Company.
Memorial Day is a time to honor the fallen service members who gave their lives to defend our nation. Let's remember their bravery and their sacrifices. Today we reflect on their legacies and acknowledge with compassion their loved ones' painful losses. Together we honor our fallen heroes who gave their lives to protect our way of life. On behalf of the Boeing Company, thank you to the American Veterans Center for making this parade possible and for your continued commitment to supporting all veterans.
The National Memorial Day Parade 2025, presented by Boeing, is brought to you by ServPro, the #1 choice in cleanup and restoration, Events DC, the Gary Sinise Foundation, U-Haul, John Deere, and by the American Veterans Center. Join our mission to preserve their legacy at AmericanVeteransCenter.org.
In America's cities and towns today, flags will be placed on graves in cemeteries. Public officials will speak of the sacrifice and the valor of those whose memory we honor.
Hello, I'm Major General Trevor Bradenkamp, the Commanding General of the Joint Task Force National Capital Region and the U.S. Army's Military District of Washington.
And I'm Command Sergeant Major Vern Daly, the Command Sergeant Major of the Joint Task Force National Capital Region and the United States Army's Military District of Washington.
Today, during our National Memorial Day observance, we take the time to remember and pay tribute to all service members who gave their lives while serving for our country. You are not forgotten.
The sacrifice of our fallen soldiers, Marines, sailors, airmen, guardians, and Coast Guardsmen endures a legacy of duty, and their dedication is worthy of national reflection. Freedom is not free, and we must always remember those who bravely sacrificed their lives so we can exercise those freedoms today.
We are tasked with rendering honors for our fallen service members at Arlington National Cemetery, where just like today, we remember the legacy of those who have come before us. Thank you all for joining us today for this special National Memorial Day observance. Command Sergeant Major Daly and I ask that you take a moment to reflect and honor our fallen heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country.
This we'll defend.
The National Memorial Day Parade 2025, presented by Boeing, is brought to you by ServPro. Parade 2025 presented by Boeing. And moving on now, this Memorial Day, 30,000 U.S. John Deere employees pay tribute to the heroes who gave everything for our nation. John Deere, an American blacksmith and inventor, founded his company in 1837 in Grand Detour, Illinois. For nearly 20 years, John Deere employees have honored the brave men and women who sacrificed everything in the name of freedom, and we are forever in your debt.
Now let's welcome the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma Honor Guard. They were established in 1980, and they were the first tribal honor guard in the state of Oklahoma. They serve to honor veterans at military funerals regardless of race or color at no cost, as well as community speaking engagements, flag presentations, and powwows.
From New Haven, Connecticut, here is the James Hill House High School Marching Band. Representing one of their city's most historic high schools, they make their parade debut today. The band continues to cement their legacy of academic achievement and musical excellence. They're honored to pay tribute to the brave men and women who gave all for our country. Let's listen.
We want to thank American Airlines for their sponsorship of today's parade. American Airlines, the official airline of the National Memorial Day Parade.
Let's next welcome the West Hempstead Rams Marching Band. These Rams have been making waves by consistently earning gold ratings from the New York State Schools Music Association and celebrating Music in Our Schools Month at New York's state's capital. Let's listen in.
We thank Xfinity for their sponsorship of today's parade.
And thank you, Stars and Stripes, for their sponsorship and participation in today's parade.
The National Memorial Day Parade 2025, presented by Boeing, is brought to you by American Airlines, official airline of the National Memorial Day Parade, American Battlefield Trust, Code of Support Foundation, Lions Club, and by the State of Qatar. Our tribute to the sacrifices of the American Revolution is sponsored by Events DC.
Memorial Day is a reminder to individuals who gave their lives in defense of our nation. It is a day to reflect on their sacrifices, honor their legacy, and reaffirm our commitment to the values they fought to protect. At Events DC, we are honored to partner with American Veterans Center to support the National Memorial Day Parade, a moving tribute that brings our community together to remember, reflect, and give thanks. We honor the contributions of our veterans, sacrifices made for all of us who remember. Thank you.
The next float is made possible by Events DC, the official convention and sports authority of Washington, D.C. Events DC creates unique experiences that results in jobs, economic impact, and lasting memories for residents, tourists, and guests. As the official host of the nation's capital, Events DC showcases Washington, D.C. as a world-class, family-friendly, and globally recognized destination, welcoming visitors from around the corner and around the world.
Thank you to President and CEO Angie M. Gates and Events DC for supporting this year's parade and honoring our fallen heroes. You can learn more about upcoming events by visiting eventsdc.com. Oh, look at this. Riding on the float, guess who? Miss America 2025, Abby Stockard. She's a senior at Auburn University. She's studying pediatric nursing. Abby is spending her reign traveling the country advocating for the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women initiative, as well as cystic fibrosis research.
Let's welcome the Peninsula High School Tide Hawks JRTC from Gig Harbor, Washington, making their first appearance in the National Memorial Day Parade.
They're great. They were established in 2021. This dynamic unit has swiftly risen to prominence. Get this, clinching the 2025 NJ ROTC Area 23 Drill Championship in their inaugural year.
Wow.
Now, this is incredible because they were competing against 26 programs across the Pacific Northwest, Alaska, Japan, Guam. Wow.
Wow.
Welcome, Peninsula High School Tide Hawks. TAPS, Tragedy Assistant Program for Survivors. They bring us our next float, featuring family members who have lost loved ones that served in the armed forces.
TAPS provides hope, help, and healing to all those grieving the death of a service member. Riding on the float is Bonnie Carroll, TAPS president and founder, along with representatives of the Washington Commanders, longtime supporters of TAPS and our armed services.
The families that you see walking in the parade represent over 100,000 members of the TAPS family. These families of the fallen are honoring their heroes by carrying their photos with them as they walk the parade route, and they represent the true meaning of Memorial Day.
And next, we welcome the Macmillan United Pipe Bands. Going back centuries in Scotland and Ireland, bagpipes are part of both celebration and mourning.
With performances every year throughout the United States, Canada, and Scotland, Macmillan's pipes have brought home bags of trophies each year here in Washington, D.C., and we won't pipe down about that.
Oh, check it out. Indigenous Enterprise is committed to preserving and authentically representing Indigenous cultures. This native company joins with a performance featuring champion powwow dancers to further their goal of amplifying Indigenous voices and heritage. Native Americans have served in the U.S. military in every major conflict since the Revolution.
Awesome.
Wow, love the energy. Exactly 250 years ago, General George Washington took command of the Continental Army, leading the fight for independence in the American Revolution. The general joins us today with the support of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, whose mission is to assist severely wounded veterans and their families. And joining her husband today, riding down Constitution Avenue, is Miss Martha Washington.
George Washington read these words of Thomas Paine to his troops right there in Valley Forge. He said, "These are the times that try men's souls." Carriages of the Capitol carry President First Lady Washington today, thanks to the support of Coalition to Support America's Heroes, whose mission is to help severely wounded veterans and their families of Operation Enduring Freedom, Operation Iraqi Freedom, and Operation New Dawn, help them to recover and inspire others to participate in the effort.
Now looking with the 13 stars representing the 13 original colonies, here is a replica of the original American flag that legend says Betsy Ross created in Philadelphia during the Revolutionary War.
Now, do you want to hear the real story?
What's the real story?
Okay, these two guys from the Continental Congress, including George Washington, they asked this widow, who was an upholsterer, okay? She made great things. I'm talking about Betsy Ross. She looked at their sketch and she said, "Let me tell you how to make those 5-star pointed stars better." Well, this is a replica of that great flag that she put together, carried by the Civil Air Patrol and sponsored by the Robert Irvine Foundation. Now, founded on July 4th, 1876, on the 100th year of our country's independence, the Sons of the American Revolution is among the oldest patriotic organizations in the United States.
So each of its more 36,000 members is a descendant of at least one patriot of the American Revolution. And for those Americans with grandparents born in the United States, get this, it's estimated that 60% of them can trace their ancestry to a patriot of the Revolution and join the sons or daughters of the American Revolution. On June 14, 1775, Congress adopted the Continental Army and placed George Washington as Commander-in-Chief. And this year, the United States Army celebrates its 250th birthday, commemorating its proud history of loyalty, duty, respect, courage, and honor.
The giant flag of the United States Army that you see here was officially adopted by President Dwight D. Eisenhower in 1956 and first unfurled at the Independence Hall on the Army's 181st birthday. In addition to the Army's birth year of 1775, look at the flag. It includes the Army's official motto, "This we'll defend."
And in honor of the Army's 250th birthday, from the 3rd United States Infantry Regiment, a performance from the famed Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps. We thank Events DC for their sponsorship of today's parade. Now please welcome Wounded Paw Project from Virginia. Wounded Paw Project focuses on the prevention of animal abuse and the rehabilitation of abused and rescued dogs, like Elvis, who was rescued from a drug house in Las Vegas, and his girlfriend Diva, who was rescued from a landfill in Phoenix. Wounded Paw Project is guided by the PAW principle: protect, advocate, and wagployment that gives abused and rescued dogs a second tail in life to be the voice for the voiceless and report animal abuse.
You'd say thank you. Thank you very much. We also thank WTOP for their support. Make way for the Honesdale High School Marching Hornets. But again, we just greatly appreciate that support from WTOP, a wonderful station here. And these Honesdale High School Marching Hornets, they're spectacular. They're from Pennsylvania. Not only do they perform at every football game, they also write their own halftime shows, showcasing their artistic and musical talents.
The performance from the Honesdale High School Band is dedicated to the memory of Honesdale High Band alumnus Gene W. Holbert, who went on to perform with the famed Penn State Blue Band at the 1968 Orange Bowl before serving in the U.S. Army.
Now, let's honor a military unit that gets too little recognition for the tremendous good that they do for our uniformed services. Talking about the military chaplains, here are Air Force Chief of Chaplains, Major General Trent Davis and Lisa Davis, Colonel William Spencer and Heidi Spencer, Lieutenant Colonel Henry Hahn and Jean Hahn, and Captain Kevin Pugh and Pamela Pugh.
Dating back to the American Revolution, 378 chaplains have died while on duty with the United States Army, including while tending to our service members on the front lines of combat. So thank you to our military chaplains for your unwavering service.
The National Memorial Day Parade 2025, presented by Boeing, is brought to you by Code of Support Foundation, Robert Irvine Foundation, Donor Outreach for Veterans Corp., and by Wounded Paw Project. The National Memorial Day Parade is created and produced by the American Veterans Center. Join our mission at AmericanVeteransCenter.org. Our salute to the Americans of the War of 1812 is brought to you by the American Battlefield Trust.
Now marching along Constitution Avenue, leading the Star-Spangled Banner down the parade route is Old Hickory himself, General Andrew Jackson.
And he's looking great. Long before becoming president, General Jackson won a decisive victory over the British at the Battle of New Orleans in the War of 1812.
General Jackson's accompanied by an oversized replica of the Star-Spangled Banner by the dawn's early light on September 14, 1814. The attacking British saw the American flag still gallantly streaming over Fort McHenry in Baltimore.
God bless the red, white, and blue. The sight of the flag signaled that their attack had failed and the Americans had won the battle. Francis Scott Key immortalized that moment in our national anthem. The flag is being carried by members of the Civil Air Patrol.
From Oklahoma, making their way along the parade route is the Henrietta High School Night Brigade. The band has a long, amazing history of events. Let's include here the 1956 Tournament of Roses, and get this one, folks. They performed at President John F. Kennedy's inaugural parade.
Today marks their third appearance in the National Memorial Day Parade. They've also played in the National Cherry Blossom Parade, as well as Troy Aikman's Pro Football Hall of Fame Parade. The band's been in all the cool places. Let's take a listen. Taking the oath of office in 1861, Abraham Lincoln appealed to the better angels of our nature in the hopes of avoiding civil war.
His original mission was to preserve the Union and would grow into a greater crusade to free 4 million Americans held in bondage. He said, "I leave you hoping that the lamp of liberty will burn inside your bosoms until there shall be no longer a doubt that we are men, all created free and equal." President Lincoln joins us today, transported by the Capitol, the carriages of the Capitol. The flag coming down the street is a replica of the famous Bennington flag, evoking the spirit of '76. It's being carried by the Civil Air Patrol.
The actual relic flag is on display in Bennington, Vermont. If you want to see it, the number 76 refers to the year that the Declaration of Independence was adopted. The Sons of Union Veterans of the Civil War was formed in 1881 to carry on the traditions and memory of the Grand Army of the Republic, a fraternal organization of the United States soldiers and sailors who fought in the Civil War to preserve our Union.
General John A. Logan, their commander-in-chief, started Decoration Day on May 30th, 1868 to honor those who gave their lives to preserve the Union in the Civil War. Well, now we call Decoration Day Memorial Day. Also marching this year, representing Lieutenant General U.S. Ulysses S. Grant and Major General Philip H. Sheridan.
Please welcome female reenactors of distinction, known as Freed, from the African American Civil War Museum right here in Washington, D.C.
They march to represent the unknown and forgotten ladies of the Civil War era who made major contributions to the educational, medical, artistic, and social makeup of our nation. Thank you to Freed for your dedication to presenting our shared American history for our next generation of leaders. As America's warfighting Navy celebrates 250 years defending freedom and protecting prosperity, we present the flag of the United States Navy. The flag was officially authorized by Dwight D. Eisenhower, presented today by DSS. Don't forget, not self, but country.
George Washington urged Congress to establish a naval force to face the British on the seas. And on October 13, 1775, the Continental Navy was born.
Always courageous. In honor of the Navy's 250th birthday, we welcome a performance from the United States Naval Academy's Silent Drill Team.
And I like this name, known as the Jolly Rogers. Their mission is to represent the Brigade of Midshipmen in official ceremonies and events by demonstrating excellence and discipline through precise and calculated exhibition drill performances. Take it away, middies.
Our next float comes from the Code of Support Foundation. Their goal is to never leave a veteran behind. Representing the foundation is wounded warrior Captain Luis Avila. Nunca olvidaremos su servicio, señor.
And joining along, you recognize him right there, rock icon Gene Simmons from the legendary band Kiss. Exactly 80 years ago, at the end of World War II in 1945, Gene's mother, Florence, was liberated by American soldiers from a Nazi camp in Austria.
And alongside that great rock star bassist, Gene Simmons, we are honored to welcome Hal Urban, decorated Army veteran of the war who was among the soldiers that liberated Mauthausen camp in Austria, saving his mother. He also fought with the Army's 11th Armored Division and was wounded during the legendary Battle of the Bulge, January 2nd, 1943. God bless him.
What a powerful story. Folks, without Hal and the Americans of World War II, so much of what we enjoy today would not be possible, including the epic music of Kiss. So thank you, Hal, and rock on, Gene.
Oh, yeah, and any way you slice it, we're watching you, Gene. And here is a message from Medal of Honor recipient Barney Barnum about the work of the Code of Support Foundation.
Hi, I'm Barney Barnum, Colonel Marines retired, and I'm here with the Code of Support Foundation. We're humbled and grateful to once again be part of the National Memorial Day Parade, commemorating those who sacrificed their lives in support of this great country. Code of Support leaves no veteran behind. Through their Patriot Link technology, as well as personalized support programs, they provide access to thousands of resources for the benefit of our nation's heroes. On this day of remembrance, I thank all involved in making today's event so meaningful.
Thank you, Barney Barnum. And now, here are the Wyandanch marching warriors and warriorettes, proudly representing Wyandanch, New York. The newly refined program consists of both marching woodwinds and brass, a funk-based percussion section, Showtime drum majors, baton twirling, and the dazzling warriorettes dance team. Let's enjoy.
And rolling down the parade route now is the George Washington chapter of the Model A Ford Club of America, a club of over 120 members from Virginia, Maryland, and D.C. Of the 5 million Model A Fords built between 1928 and 1931, over 100,000 still travel the highways and byways of the world. Visit their Father's Day weekend antique car show in Chantilly, Virginia. Now to a car that's a little more recent. New Line Cinema and Jaguar Cars North America teamed up in 2002 to create a new Jaguar for the Austin Powers movie Goldmember. This vehicle is one of the 3 vehicles modified for the film.
Shagadelic, baby. Thank you to the Gary Sinise Foundation for all that they do for veterans and their families. We also want to thank the Young Marines who volunteer each year for the parade. The Young Marines is a national youth program for ages 8 through 18, focused on leadership, citizenship through community service, self-discipline, and living a healthy lifestyle.
The National Memorial Day Parade 2025, presented by Boeing, is brought to you by ServPro, the #1 choice in cleanup and restoration. DSS Incorporated. Independent Apparel. The National Memorial Day Parade is created and produced by the American Veterans Center. Join our mission at AmericanVeteransCenter.org.
And the American Veterans Center is proud to welcome you to this annual tradition from our nation's capital.
You can learn more about the legacy to guard that legacy and honor the sacrifice of our nation's heroes by going to the AmericanVeteransCenter.org.
This is a great day so far.
Beautiful day. Before becoming president, Theodore Roosevelt gained acclaim by leading the Rough Riders during the Spanish-American War of 1898.
That grin is unmistakable. Teddy Roosevelt was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor for his legendary charge up San Juan Hill and is the only president to have received the medal. Teddy's son, Theodore Roosevelt Jr., received the Medal of Honor after leading troops ashore in Normandy on D-Day, June 6, 1944.
You know, it's not the critic that counts. Not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or how the doer of deeds could have done it better. The credit actually goes to the man in the arena.
Here are the 1st USV Regiment, the Rough Riders. They are both a charitable and historical society whose mission is to keep alive the historical contributions of Theodore Roosevelt and the men who served alongside him. The 1,200 original Rough Riders camped in Tampa prior to leaving for the campaign in Cuba during the Spanish-American War in 1898.
Well, bully, the Rough Riders collect and donate thousands of teddy bears named for Theodore Roosevelt for the Children's Hospital, veteran centers, assisted living facilities, and schools throughout the year. Let's hear it for the Newtown High School Sound Factory Marching Band from Georgia. This distinguished band was honored with an international invitation to perform at the United Nations Convention Against Corruption, which is a testament to its global recognition and professionalism.
The band program fosters a culture of discipline, creativity, and community involvement, empowering students to strive for both artistic and academic excellence. With a history of achievements and a commitment to growth, Newton High School Band continues to inspire through music.
Woo. Sing it. Well, making their 17th year here participating in the parade are the Lions Clubs from Washington, D.C., Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia.
The theme of their flow is Make Your Mark and serves as a call to action for every Lion to create lasting change. Wearing red, white, and blue sashes in recognition of service to our country are Lions Club veterans.
They were established in 1917 during the First World War. The Lions Club International is the world's largest service organization, comprised of 1.4 million members, and their motto is "We Serve." They look great, don't they?
Oh, they certainly do.
Roaring like lions.
And this next band was the official band of the New York State at the opening of the 1964 World's Fair. And in 1981, they played at the World Series at Yankee Stadium. And today, they continue that tradition of musical excellence with their precision, energy, and undeniable spirit. Give it up for the Northport Tiger Marching Band, Flagline, and Tigerettes.
George M. Cohan. Woo. John Deere's U.S. employees remember our nation's heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. For almost now, I'd say about 200 years now, John Deere's been honored to support our heroes and those who've helped protect the American dream. This Memorial Day, 30,000 John Deere employees keep these brave Americans close to our hearts as we continue to invest in our nation's future.
The D.C. Fire and EMS Department is proud to be part of the National Memorial Day Parade. Your nation's capital is well protected by D.C.'s bravest, who work each and every day to ensure that District of Columbia residents and guests are protected and healthy. Under the guidance of Fire and EMS Chief John A. Donnelly, They have provided support to the parade for many years and are humbled to take this moment to reflect on, remember, and to honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our country.
Making their debut appearance in the National Memorial Day Parade is the Corunna High School Marching Cavaliers from the Show Me State. Well, that's Missouri, but they're from Michigan. The Marching Cavaliers have performed around the country. Now, here's where they performed: Walt Disney World, Chicago, Detroit, right here at the Walter Reed National Military Medical Center, and the World War II Memorial in D.C. Woo, good. Oh, yeah.
Francis DeBacco brings us this Spirit of 76 El Dorado, which he dedicates to all active servicemen and women and veterans who have served. His brother Vincent Joseph DeBacco was killed 83 years ago in the Battle of Midway. And riding in the Spirit of 76, we're honored to be joined by movie icon and philanthropist Robert Patrick, best known as the unstoppable T-1000 in Terminator 2. Jesse James Dupree, lead singer of the band Jackal, and owner of the world-famous Full Throttle Saloon, and New York Mike Shelby, a Vietnam vet combat controller.
He did such a good job last night, Robert Patrick. God bless you, Robert Patrick.
The National Moment of Remembrance, established by Congress, asks all Americans, wherever they are at this time, to pause in an act of national unity.
Right now, the National Memorial Day Parade will participate in that moment, coming to a complete stop while taps is being played in honor of all of those who've sacrificed their lives, wherever you are. Whatever you're doing, we ask you to please join us in this moment.
sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see.
Taps was played by Staff Sergeant Craig Basserich from the United States Army Band's Pershing's Own.
From here in the reviewing stand, it was powerful to see the whole crowd just rise to that. Now, Amazing Grace was sung by Staff Sergeant Caroline Nielsen, alto vocalist, the United States Army Band, Pershing's Own.
Gorgeous.
National Memorial Day Parade 2025, presented by Boeing, is brought to you by Events DC, State of Kuwait, the Robert Irvine Foundation, the Gary Sinise Foundation, and by Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors. Our segment honoring the fallen of the World Wars is made possible by U-Haul.
As we thank those who served today, we remember the true meaning of Memorial Day, honoring those that we have lost.
The Gold Star Service Flag was designed during the First World War of 1917. The flag is displayed by the family of a fallen service member and is a symbol of the spirit of the Memorial Day holiday. It is being carried by Gold Star spouses and team members from Sunbelt Rentals.
Wearing authentic uniforms from the Great War, First World War I, let's welcome the American Expeditionary Forces.
Every day at 5 p.m., Taps is played at the National World War I Memorial, serving as a solemn reminder of the sacrifices made by the Americans who served in the war. This Memorial Day, this band honors all who have served and those who gave their lives in defense of freedom. The band's performance is a tribute to their courage and the enduring spirit of our nation.
Last September, the final touches were completed on the newly dedicated World War I Memorial in Pershing Park, Washington, D.C. The memorial is dedicated to the 4.7 million Americans who served during the war and the 116,516 soldiers that made the ultimate sacrifice.
It is a powerful memorial, certainly worth a visit. Now, among the memorial's strongest advocates was the last surviving veteran of the First World War, Frank W. Buckles, who joined the National Memorial Day Parade prior to his passing in 2011. Today, World War I doughboy reenactors join the parade in his honor and in honor of all who served.
We remember. From the heart of California's Central Valley, here is the Los Banos High School Marching Band and Guard, founded in 1902.
With strong ties to the local community, the band has been bringing students together from diverse backgrounds and showcasing their talents for over a century. The Women Marines Association of Maryland, Virginia, and the District of Columbia is comprised of women who've served or are serving honorably in the United States Marine Corps, regular or service or reserve components. Semper Fi, Marines.
Absolutely. The Women's Marine Association was established in 1960 to ensure the legacy and history of women Marines would be preserved and shared, and that the accomplishments and milestones will influence the next generation of Marines. Check out this cool 1903 curved dash almost Oldsmobile. The vehicle's been in 320 parades and events in 7 states and Washington, D.C. Riding in this cool 1903 curved dash Oldsmobile are Bob and Kathy Geyer of Silver Spring, Maryland.
Oh, I love this car. Well, dignitaries driven include veterans of World War I, World War II, and every war and conflict since. Senators, congressmen, a secretary of state, a governor, mayors, and stars of stage and screen. From Gardner, Kansas, please welcome the Gardner Edgerton Marching Trailblazers. This award-winning band is known for its powerful sound, precision marching, and spirited performances.
The Trailblazers have proudly represented their community across the nation in cities such as New York, Chicago, Atlanta, and Kansas City, as well as Walt Disney World. Let's take a listen.
On November 10, 1775, the Second Continental Congress in Philadelphia established 2 battalions of Marines, creating the United States Marine Corps.
Now you want to hear the legend?
I do.
Okay, marks the birthplace of the Marines at Philadelphia's Tavern, where they were recruited. But what they don't tell you is the guy that recruited them is the guy that owned the bar. He ended up being the first commandant, and his name was Samuel Nicholas. The banner that you see today, and of course in 1925, the colors of gold and scarlet became their colors. The banner you see today became their official flag in 1939. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, and from Bellawood in the First World War, and Iwo Jima in the Second, the Hue City in Vietnam to Fallujah in Iraq and beyond.
America's finest. For 250 years, the United States Marines have been the first to fight for the right and freedom. Joining in honor of their 250th birthday, we present a performance from the Marine Drum and Bugle Corps, Semper Fi.
Love those jarheads. God, I love those.
Oh, that was powerful, wasn't it? Well, leading our salute to the World War II generation are flags representing the 26 original Allied nations of the war.
The flags are being carried by the Civil Air Patrol, the official auxiliary of the United States Air Force. Their motto, aim high, fly, fight, win. The M5A1 Stuart tank is sponsored by the Americans in Wartime Experience. The Stuart saw action in 1942 to 44 across the Pacific Theater.
Tens of thousands of tanks were produced during World War II, many by America's Rosie the Riveters, the millions of American women who went to the factories to build the planes, ships, and yes, tanks that won the war.
The American values of duty, honor, courage, patriotism, and sacrifice. That will serve as the foundation for a new museum being created by the Americans in Wartime Experience. Stationed at Fort Eustis, Virginia, the 380th Army Band brings professional music performances to the region.
Originally constituted as the 80th Division Band during World War II in 1943, this Army Band gained recognition for their contribution to the battle campaigns in northern France, Rhineland, and Central Europe.
With over 25 reserve musician soldiers, the band offers ceremonial support and diverse musical entertainment through their brass quintet, small rock pop band, jazz combo, and brass band. And you know what they don't do?
What's that?
They don't ever drop the beat.
Next up is U-Haul, the original veteran moving company and a proud 20-year sponsor of this parade. Thank you, U-Haul. U-Haul was founded by a World War II Navy veteran and his wife in 1945 and remains a family-run company to this day.
Today, U-Haul, it's 30,000 plus team members and it's 21,000 independent dealers. Remember the heroes who paid the ultimate price for our freedom. To all who have served and sacrificed and to their families, U-Haul says thank you and God bless.
U-Haul brings us this next float saluting our World War II generation and the service of the United States Merchant Marines. During the war, some 250,000 merchant mariners served as part of the U.S. military, delivering supplies and personnel around the world.
The Merchant Marines were awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor for their valor and sacrifice in the war, and we are honored to be joined by one of their own, 97-year-old merchant mariner Harold Seibel, riding on the float.
Mr. Seibel, thank you for your service. He's a World War II American Merchant Marine veteran. Today, less than 100,000 survive of the 16 million Americans who served in uniform during World War II. Mr. Seibel, thank you. Keep the spirit of 45 alive is an alliance working to preserve and honor the legacy of the men and women of our World War II generation so that their values and achievements will continue to inspire future generations, especially the youth of our nation. Of the 16 million who served, less than 0.5% survive.
Parents of all the student band members marching in the parade today are marching to help pay tribute to the sacrifices made by our greatest World War II generation. They are carrying photos of heroes of the war. Some of the faces that you're seeing here are those of the Tuskegee Airmen, Medal of Honor recipients, and soldiers from every branch of our armed forces.
Established in 1982, ROC Veteran Association of Greater Washington is one of the biggest Chinese community organizations in the Washington area.
With more than 300 members, all of them are veterans of Republic of China, Taiwan, and included many high-ranking generals who joined the United States forces in World War II to fight against the Japanese in Asia.
In past years, the association actively participated in many activities here with their friends of U.S. veterans groups to promote the mainstream events in the Chinese community.
The 50-foot Taiwan flag is brought to us by TechPro. It commemorates a very special partnership. During the Second World War, the United States and the Republic of China forged a friendship that continues to this day.
Today, the ROC, known as Taiwan, remains a steadfast friend and partner in democracy and human rights. Today's flag is being carried by members from the Veterans Affairs Council, ROC, Taiwan. Here is Wreaths Across America and its mobile education exhibit. This exhibit is a museum on wheels which travels the country, bringing together communities and the military with education, stories, and interactive connections. The mobile museum is equipped with a 24-person screening room and 3 interactive digital stations. How about that? Wreaths Across America's purpose is to remember, honor, and teach about service and sacrifice and the love of our country.
Here comes the Stately High School Falcon Brigade and Diamonds from the state of Missouri. Now we got the Show Me State. More than a collection of performers, this is a family where dedication meets passion and students grow as people, just as much as they do as performers. The Staley Band creates a legacy of mentorship and a passing down the values of hard work, resilience, cooperation, in addition to musical skills. Let's enjoy it.
The National Memorial Day Parade 2025, presented by Boeing, is brought to you by Code of Support Foundation, the Gary Sinise Foundation, Sunbelt Rentals, John Deere, and Lidos. Thank you to Lidos, an industry and technology leader, for sponsoring lunch for 1,000 active duty personnel participating in the parade. Lidos serves government and commercial customers with smarter, more efficient digital and mission innovations. Our salute to the heroes of the Korean War is sponsored by Code of Support Foundation. And our tribute to the fallen heroes of the Vietnam War is presented by American Airlines, official airline of the National Memorial Day Parade.
This horse here represents Sergeant Reckless, America's greatest war horse and a Korean War hero. In one battle alone, Sergeant Reckless made 51 trips to the front, carrying ammunition and evacuating the wounded.
She's led by retired Marine Corps veteran Lieutenant Colonel James Schaefer. Following in the Jeep is Korean War veteran David Ogden and Robin Hutton, who is the author of the best-selling book, Sergeant Reckless, America's War Horse. Our next float features honored guests, veterans of the Korean War. The Korean War began 75 years ago, June 25, 1950, when North Korean forces attacked across the 38th parallel. 2.9 million Americans served during the Korean War, with 300,000 deployed to Korea. In the end, the U.S. suffered nearly 140,000 casualties.
In 2022, a new wall of remembrance was dedicated at the Korean War Memorial on the National Mall. It's certainly worth checking out. It includes the names of 43,000 service members killed in the war.
From northeastern Pennsylvania, let's welcome the Wallenpaupack Area High School Buckhorn Band, one of the largest and most active bands in their region.
Over band director Eric Warner's 22nd year at Wallenpaupack, the band has performed in Montreal, Baltimore, Boston, Philadelphia, and of course, Washington, D.C. Let's listen.
Our next float features very special guests, Vietnam veterans of the legendary 101st Airborne Division. The 101st was created in 1918. It was designated an airborne unit in 1942, but wasn't deployed until the first time to Vietnam on July 29, 1965.
The names of more than 58,000 fallen Americans are engraved on the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall on the National Mall. To the 2.7 million veterans who served in Vietnam, thank you and welcome home.
The 101st Airborne Division served 7 years. Let's hear it for the East Chester High School Marching Band, sponsored by Music Celebrations, located just 20 miles north of Van Haskell. East Chester is the birthplace of the Bill of Rights. The band has played the famous stage on Main Street, USA at Walt Disney World, and they're proud to be here today, and we're proud to have them.
Amen. Here is Vietnam Veterans of America Chapter 958, chartered in 2005. They are a group of seasoned combat veterans and Vietnam-era veterans with a clear mission to assist disabled and needy veterans, including but not limited to Vietnam-era veterans and their dependents and the widows and orphans of deceased veterans. Thank you for all you do.
Homecoming 250 Navy Marine Corps is a 501c3 charity bringing the national celebrations of the Navy and Marine Corps' 250th birthdays to their Philadelphia birthplace and adjacent Camden, New Jersey. We hear you, pal. The Navy and Marine Corps 250th celebration will start on October 9th-16th, conclude on November 10th, and over 300,000 people are expected to attend the spectacular, amazing events. I wonder if they're going to share the SOS breakfast.
Representing Hampton VA Medical Center from Virginia, here are veterans from various rehabilitation facilities who've served in the Vietnam War, Grenada, Desert Storm, and most recently, Iraq and Afghanistan.
Star Moving Solutions proudly offers a discount to all active duty and retired military members. A thank you for your service. As a military approved carrier with a certified warehouse for non-temporary storage, NTS, they are fully equipped to handle your relocation needs, and since 2011, they have successfully moved over 10,000 military personnel.
For 30 years, Ken and Melinda Buckles have been honoring veterans through their organization, Remembering America's Heroes. In 2022, they drove this Hummer from Canby, Oregon over to Washington, D.C. for the 40th anniversary of the Vietnam Memorial Wall. This journey was dedicated to honoring Vietnam veterans across America and included apologies for how Vietnam veterans were treated upon returning home. And for more information, visit rahusa.us.
Let's welcome the Spiders Riders United from Virginia and Maryland chapters. Spiders Riders United, they're a group of enthusiasts that love the open road. Between all the groups, there are more than 800 members that come together each year for fellowship and to make lasting memories and friendship. Boy, they look like they have a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
I want to be a Spiders Rider.
Why not? And welcome to the Republic of Vietnam Veterans Association of Virginia. They marched today to express gratitude to all the veterans who fought alongside the Republic of Vietnam Armed Forces from 1965 to 1973 for the freedom of the Vietnamese people. They especially wish to express gratitude to the more than 58,000 American servicemen and women who made the ultimate sacrifice for the freedom of the Vietnamese people.
Thank you to Costco for being a parade sponsor.
Now let's welcome Fort Union Military Academy Marching Band from Fort Union, Virginia. Founded in 1898, Fort Union Military Academy is known for its commitment to discipline, leadership, and academic excellence. The band proudly wears the striking red coats inspired by the Commandant's own Marine Drum and Bugle Corps, and leading the band today is Cadet Major Joseph Athey, who is concluding his distinguished final year at Fort Union.
The National Memorial Day Parade 2025, presented by Boeing, is brought to you by American Battlefield Trust and by Wounded Paw Project. The parade is produced by the American Veterans Center. For all history buffs, learn more about us at AmericanVeteransCenter.org. Our salute to those who served in the Gulf War is sponsored by State of Kuwait.
Oh gosh, I knew I forgot something. The sour cream, the chives, and the butter.
Oh, and the bacon.
Yeah, and the bacon. Because you know what's coming up? The big Idaho potato truck with a tater team on its 12th cross-country journey, brought to you by the Idaho Potato Commission.
I wonder how many French fries you can make with that. Well, it began in 2012 as a one-year campaign to celebrate the 75th anniversary of the Idaho Potato Commission, but everyone loved it, and it quickly became a big piece of pop culture. Love seeing it out on the roads. The truck travels the country, promoting the certified heart-healthy Idaho potato and its mission to help charities with its A Big Helping program.
Well, you know, they have great appeal. Here is Naval Officer Jesse Iwuji, former football player at the United States Naval Academy. Today, Jesse is a professional race car driver and co-owner of a team with NFL Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith. I think Emmitt used to play for the Dallas Cowboys. I know, I'm a little Texas crazy.
And we honor the service and sacrifice of the Americans who fought in the Gulf War, Operation Desert Storm. With the Thief of Kuwait Remembers, this next float is brought to us by the state of Kuwait.
Among the first supporters of the National Memorial Day Parade 20 years ago, the people of Kuwait convey their deep appreciation for those who served, those who fell in the fight to liberate their country. On behalf of the people of Kuwait, we present a special message from the ambassador to the United States.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, honorable veterans, and Gold Star families, I speak to you today with deep respect and gratitude on behalf of the good people of the state of Kuwait, and I reaffirm our solemn promise. We will never forget the stories of service and sacrifice written by the brave men and women of the United States Armed Forces. I'm proud to share an important announcement. A new tribute is taking shape in Washington, D.C., dedicated to those who served in Operation Desert Storm and Operation Desert Shield. This commemorative site is a gift from the people of Kuwait to the United States of America. This national landmark will stand as a powerful reminder of courage, unity, and shared sacrifice. I invite you to join us in fall 2026, inshallah, God willing, for the official unveiling of this important tribute to our collective history. God bless you all, and happy Memorial Day.
The National Desert Storm War Memorial Association is honored to present a contingent of 100 military veterans who served during Operation Desert Storm in 1991.
The veterans marching today are part of the mission to build the National Desert Storm and Desert Shield War Memorial on the National Mall, now under construction near the Lincoln and Vietnam War Memorials. And now here's a message of support from our friends at the State of Qatar.
On this Memorial Day, we stand with the people of the U.S. to pay our respects to the men and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice and services of their country. Qatar hosts Al Udeid Air Force Base, home of the U.S. Central Command, Forward Command, and more than 11,000 American servicemen and women. These brave troops work shoulder to shoulder with the Qatar service members in efforts to promote regional security. We are proud to be partners in peace for our region and across the world, and we commemorate them on this day of remembrance.
Let's welcome the Franklin High School Black Knight Marching Band, known as the Pride of Pennsylvania. No stranger to Washington, D.C., the band has appeared in the National Independence Day Parade, the National Cherry Blossom Festival, and this is their 7th appearance in our parade. You know what makes a BQ happy?
What's that?
Mission Barbecue. It is Mission BBQ, known for its American BBQ and its mission to serve those who serve. Each location supports the Global War on Terrorism Memorial Foundation, as well as other military, veteran, and first responder organizations in our community. Now, every day at noon, the entire restaurant halts to honor our country with the singing of the national anthem. Visit mission.bbq.com for more information. Of course, I'd probably have the barbecue sauce down my sleeves. I'd still sing. This Memorial Day, John Deere employees remember and pay respect to our nation's heroes, those who sacrificed their lives to protect our freedoms. Our heartfelt gratitude to these brave men and women and their families. This is expressed by 30,000 John Deere employees in nearly 60 facilities across 16 states. They say we are forever in your debt.
The National Memorial Day Parade 2025, presented by Boeing, is brought to you by American Airlines, official airline of the National Memorial Day Parade. Events DC, the State of Kuwait, Wounded Paw Project, and by the State of Qatar. Our salute to those serving us today is sponsored by Lidos.
Coming on along Constitution Avenue is this 30 by 50 foot Wounded Warrior Project flag being carried today by Wounded Warrior Project. They are the nation's leading veteran service organization focusing on the total well-being of post 9/11 wounded, ill, or injured veterans.
Their expertise in providing services and programs that empower our nation's heroes. Their comprehensive approach and their broad community relationships allow them to do what no other organization can.
Carrying their flag are just a few of the 250,000 warriors and their family members that it serves nationwide in honor of all who sacrificed in Afghanistan, Iraq, and operations post-September 11th. And here comes the Massachusetts Maritime Academy Band, Honor Guard, and Drill Team. The Massachusetts Maritime Academy is a university specializing in the maritime industry.
Outstanding state-of-the-art labs and simulators create immersive teaching experiences that replicate real-life scenarios within practice environments. Shipboard training takes place on their training ship, the Patriot State. Ah, let's take a listen. Aren't they great?
Yeah. The next parade float honors the millions who have served on active duty post 9/11, the 1.3 million serving today, and the more than 7,000 lost in combat operations around the world for the last 25 years.
Joining our active duty uniformed service members from the United States Armed Forces, representing all who serve with honor. On behalf of a grateful America, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for the men and women who are stepping up to serve around the world today.
God bless them all.
Let's welcome Pulling for Veterans, who are dedicated to educating people regarding PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. PTSD impacts many of our brave veterans, and secondary PTSD impacts their family and caregivers. Pulling for Veterans rents the trailers that you see here, directs the proceeds to resources to assist veterans struggling with PTSD, a leading cause of veteran suicide. God bless you and thank you for your important work.
Thank you to the state of Qatar for being a sponsor and supporter of the National Memorial Day Parade.
Thank you to these parade volunteers for carrying the American Veterans Center banner, the organization responsible for today's parade, and so much more. Please visit AmericanVeteransCenter.org to see all they do for veterans.
And a big welcome to the Brick Memorial High School Marching Mustang Band from Brick Township, New Jersey. Today, the band is led by drum majors Jacob Genera and Daniel D'Antoni Jr. The band has earned 10 Atlantic Coast Championships. How about that? Let's take a listen.
The National Memorial Day Parade 2025, presented by Boeing, is brought to you by U-Haul, Code of Support Foundation. The National Memorial Day Parade is created and produced by the American Veterans Center. Join our mission to preserve their legacy at AmericanVeteransCenter.org.
A very special thank you to the American Veterans Center and all of our great sponsors who made the National Day Parade, Memorial Day Parade possible. Thank you.
Wasn't this a great day?
Ah,
beautiful weather, great crowds,
best.
great performances.
The very
I love this,
best.
feeling so inspired. And to those serving in harm's way, please stay safe and thank you for your service.
We want to say God bless you to over the 1 million people that have served, paid the ultimate sacrifice. Don't ever forget, God bless our great country. God bless those Medal of Honors. And you know what? God bless you. We'll see you next year.
See you next year.